Hello and welcome back to Dragon Age the Veilguard. It is time for us to speak to Solus because he probably has a lot of things to say to us. And we have a lot of things to say to him. Basically we have to ask him what to do next and, well, it's probably going to be killing an archdemon. It's almost certainly going to be killing an archdemon. Solus, we're going to kill an archdemon, right? Right? Or a second one, I should say. Let's see.
The Dalish prisoners escaped safely?
We got them away free and clear.
Good. Your time with the Veil Jumpers probably taught you some of my history with our people.
A bit, Dreadwolf.
Whatever my frustrations with them, it was a privilege to be able to help our people again. Thank you for allowing me to help. Chance to infuriate Elganon was a reminder of simpler times.
Okay. You really hate Elganon.
You and Elganon were really tearing into one another back there.
I needed to goad him to anger in order to distract him. But yes, while all of the Evanuris were monsters in their own ways, Elganon was the worst. Or perhaps it is more honest to say that his were the faults I've found most objectionable. You have met him now, heard his voice hammering at the doors of your mind, and you have met me. Can you see how he and I might frustrate one another?
You're like angry brothers. He's brutal or you're both prideful. Let's say he's brutal. Yeah.
He uses his power to crush any opposition.
Yes. He is far more powerful than I am, and he wields that power like a graceless bludgeon. When I defeat an enemy, it is because I outsmarted them, because I was right. When he does, it is only because he was stronger.
Outsmarting someone and being right aren't exactly the same thing.
Aren't they?
Alright, I can see how you and Elganon would hate each other.
He has always been what I most feared becoming. Callous and uncaring, his arrogance unchecked. To have that much power and no one to remind him that he could be wrong.
Well, he had you.
And I suppose I had you.
You dislike the Dalish?
You said you found the Dalish frustrating. Why is that?
It is unfair to them. I lived for thousands of years, and after I imprisoned the Evanuris, I slept for thousands more. I awoke in a world that had forgotten the ancient times almost entirely. And those who tried to remember Elven history, like the Dalish, had gotten so much wrong.
I'm betting you argued?
Let me guess. You tried to tell them what they were getting wrong and they didn't believe you?
There are few things that frustrate me as much as ignorance. I tried to explain the truth to one clan. When I convinced them that I was truly Fen'Harel, they attacked me. After that, I hid my explanations behind the facade of having witnessed events in the Fade.
And the Fade is the realm of dreams. Hard to present that as evidence.
Yes. The Dalish had no reason to believe me. I could only watch as they continued to worship Elganon. Though we may have seen the last of that tradition, at least.
Okay. Well, thanks for the help.
We would have had a hard time getting out of there without your help.
I did not spend this long preparing you only to lose you to Elganon's machinations. No, I am sorry. That was poorly said. You have earned better from me.
Okay.
When we first met, I saw you only as a foolishly confident child who disrupted my plans. You were an irritant. I gave you information to oppose Elganon out of necessity, but I expected you to be nothing more than a tool. Seeing you with your team, I was wrong.
You have earned the respect of the Dreadwolf. Oh. Okay then. Well. Let's just accept it. Let's say, yep.
Yeah, you were.
A mistake I shall endeavor not to repeat. Your team trusts you, and you listen to them. It is impressive and enviable. It took me centuries to build such a bond during my rebellion, and when I served the Inquisition, I tried to avoid entanglements.
Oh, okay. What about the Inquisitor? I'm interested to see what he says, because I'm fairly certain with our Inquisitor, he was not a friend. But let's see.
What about the Inquisitor? Does he not count as a friend?
He was useful. But there were others I grew fond of despite myself when I was with the Inquisition. Cole, a spirit of compassion, I helped adapt to our new world. He was the only one who knew who I really was. I miss him a great deal. Josephine, the Inquisition's ambassador, was a bastion of kindness and decency in a world that looked down on elves and apostates. Even Cassandra Pendergast of the Order of the Seekers. She was what a believer should be. Faithful, practical, committed to serving, not ruling. I suppose I did bond with the Inquisition after all, as you have with your team.
Thank you for sharing that. So what comes next? What are the gods going to do?
Elganan and Gillenane are preparing the dagger they will use for their ritual to pierce the veil. Elganan's power is tied to light and darkness. He will need to perform a ritual during the next eclipse.
That gives us some time to prepare.
It is likely to be your last chance to do so. You must be ready for whatever comes, for this world and for the team that trusts you. I know that you will do everything in your power not to fail them.
Well, I'm going to guess that's the point of no return. The eclipse. Also, some interesting canon stuff there.
So now Elganan's recovered his own archdemon, and the gods only need an eclipse to complete their dagger.
We saved the Dalish, though. That's important.
But now Elganan's immortal, so long as his archdemon lives.
And we all know how hard those things are to kill.
We killed Razikale, didn't we?
After losing hundreds of wardens, and it took a centuries-old trap to do it. We don't have either of those. Not anymore.
Just when you think the tide's in your favor, it turns right back.
Okay, interesting canon things while it's in my head. One, the three companions he mentioned, he had to mention those companions instead of any of the other ones because those are mandatory companions. There are non-mandatory companions in that game. Cole, Cassandra, and Josephine are not non-mandatory. You have to have all three of them, I believe. Other interesting things that he mentioned. Cole, I believe that his story can end in a different way, which means that they have effectively set his canon ending, which made sense because it was the one that made sense. It was like, you can either go down the path that makes sense with Cole or down the other path, and it was like, okay. And Cassandra, they haven't specifically said it, but by Solus giving Cassandra her title, and because Trespasser takes place after the Divine is chosen in the story, that means Cassandra canonically did not end up as the Divine, I think. Although, is that one of the choices you made at the start? Might be one of the choices you made at the start. Now I'm questioning myself. I don't think it was, but maybe it was. Anyway, at least they did at least, yeah, they have made it clear that in this world state that's the case. Or at least to me they've made it clear. The other thing that was interesting is how he described the Inquisitor as useful. Now, I believe that is due to one of the choices at the start. That's due to the choice of how you were pursuing Solus. And I assume that that's effectively being used as a how did Solus see the Inquisitor. It so far has had no real impact on the game that I have seen. In fact, none of the choices at the start have had an impact on the game that I've seen, which is intriguing. But I wonder if they're going to have an whether they're going to have an impact soon. Anyway. We can't let Thedas fall.
Okay, we always knew this was going to be hard, right? And yeah, maybe it's a little harder now. More than a little. But either we stop this, or all of Thedas falls. So we see it through, all the way. Because no one else is going to.
Nice speech, Rook. But it's hard to complete a contract if you don't know where the target is.
We found the gods before.
Not without help, we didn't.
So we get help again. We've got allies everywhere now.
What about the Venatori? Ideas, anyone? Or how about the Veil Jumpers? Let's just say ideas, anyone.
I can think of a few options, but I'm open to suggestions.
Wardens have run dry. Nothing new is moving in the deep roads.
And the Veil Jumpers couldn't find any trace of Elgranon or his archdemon.
The crows may have something. The Antam are moving large quantities of supplies out of the city. Weapons, armor, gatlock. And food. About half are remaining provisions. Enough to feed the Antam navy.
Given the timing, it seems unlikely to be a coincidence.
Wherever those supplies are headed, that's likely where we'll find the gods. Any more details from the crows, Lucanus?
They said the Antam have long work ahead. We have time. Also, Biago would like a meeting. At your earliest convenience. From him, that means important, but not yet urgent.
Okay. We have options.
We've got options for what we do next. Figuring out where the Antam are taking those supplies should put us on the gods' trail.
Not to complicate things, but the Inquisitor also wants to meet Rook.
Oh?
Right. With everything he's been doing in the south, we owe him an update.
I'll let him know.
Okay. Good fighting today.
Today could have gone better, but it could have gone much worse. We fought off the Venatori and rescued the Dalish. That's a win by any standard. Rest up and be ready to go. Next time the gods appear, let's make sure it's the last.
Inquisitor wants to speak, huh? Alright, well I was just saying. Anyway, new library update. Notes from our second book club meeting. Attending, Balara, Nev, Harding, Emmerich, Lucanus. Book, Mistress of the Scarlet Moon by Irian Cestus, chosen by Harding. Notes taken by Balara. Notes. Harding felt the archery scenes were very unrealistic, spent 7 minutes demonstrating that the shots described were completely impossible, broke 3 lamps. Emmerich thought the protagonist made very realistic decisions, felt the number of songs in the book was excessive. Balara, me, lost a copy of the book halfway through reading it, still able to guess the plot twist correctly. Nev commented that the book made her hungry, elaborated that it was not the blood. Lucanus felt the book accurately conveyed the boring parts of being an assassin, did not enjoy book. Dice rolled, Lucanus picks the next book. Okay, the miscellaneous is just the memento that the memento we found. Alright, local map. Quest. There's all quests, including a quest which is just in the ether. Okay. Well, I guess we should pick up the quests and then maybe meet with the Inquisitor. Yeah. Okay. Let's grab this one. Rook. We have continued to study changes in the Blight. Our latest findings are very interesting and disturbing. We can't let this spread continue. We'll catch up next time you're in the wetlands. Antoine. Okay, something's coming. Okay, after something wicked, we now have something's coming. Fair enough.
Myrna, hello. I assume Vorgos's not far behind.
We have her, Rook. We have her. We know exactly what she's planning.
The professor asked us to research the artifact that came into the possession of Johanna Hezenkos.
She carries a gloaming lantern.
That bad as it sounds?
They were fashioned in ages past by unscrupulous necromancers. The lanterns steal and concentrate life.
Johanna could use it to leech life from hundreds at a time. An endless source of power.
That's horrifying.
A lantern that sucks the life out of people? Oh.
Their very souls. But we know where Johanna will be.
She has returned to Blackthorn Manor.
Oh.
Hezenkos intends to hold a soiree.
That can't be her whole plan.
No, but I propose a small group infiltrate Johanna's lair while she's distracted and destroy her lantern.
Let's do it.
Vorgoth and I must return to the necropolis.
Hunt well.
If only we could make Johanna see reason.
You tried before. She seems stubborn.
Perhaps that's why she attained immortality, while I quake on the threshold. If I make my own bid for lichdom... Oh, it's no use pretending this hasn't stirred up that old dread of my own mortality.
Maybe that's healthy.
You could also be having a normal reaction to facing danger every other day.
No, it shouldn't be this crushing, this prevalent. No. Johanna was never beset by these sort of fears.
A little fear's healthy. You'll feel better once we crash her lair and destroy that lantern. Promise.
Okay. And that explains why there were areas in the Blackthorn Manor that we couldn't access. It's because we're going back there. Aha. Well, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. Hello.
Hey, I got word from my mother. She wants to talk.
Have you talked with her since,
Nope, not since I told her I was non-binary. But her note said she wanted to talk about that tablet we found, the old Kunari one. Of course that's what she wants to talk about. We can go whenever you're good.
I'll let you know.
Okay. So we're assuming this is the one where she gets kidnapped, because I think these are going to be the final quests. Lair of the Dragon King is the name of the quest. Alright. Surprised you haven't had a quest for us, Varric.
You've got allies from Rivain to Navarra now. If the enemy makes a move, they'll see it.
Although it was nice that he joined us for the meeting this time, instead of just sitting up here while we had the meeting. You know, given that he's been involved in 1.5 world-ending scenarios, I feel like he'd at least should be there. I was going to say 2, but then I realized that the consequences of Kirkwall were not nearly that severe.
Oh, that's not good. Not even a little bit. Rook, we have to go. We might already be too late.
Slow down. What's happening?
The artifact. Remember how I told you that I'd know if they started another ritual? They did, and it's big. Really, really big. Arlathan big, maybe.
You're sure?
Completely. Nothing else explains that resonance.
Okay. Can we stop them?
Okay, so how do we stop that from happening?
I don't know. I hope the ritual's just started. We might be able to stop it if they haven't gotten very far.
And if they've had the chance?
These rituals need an anchor with a physical body, so not a spirit or whatever Anaris is, which means Syrian. And there's only one way to free an anchor.
Then let's not waste any time.
Okay, well, we'll add it to the list. Okay. Along here. Nev, tell me what thing's happening in your life.
Rook, I've compiled the last reports from an informant. You remember our talk with Rana? She had a lead on Alia's location. A place called Sanctum Lucican.
A lost Tevinter temple, right? Does this mean you found it?
I'm pretty damn sure.
Let's take down Alia.
Alia can't hide anymore.
Maybe, but getting to her won't be easy.
So where is this place?
The Mirathas Catacombs, an underground temple to the god of night. It was sealed off and forgotten under a derelict building outside the Thread Market. I've had an eye on the catacombs. Alia's haunted them before, but they span the city, endless twists, hidden passages. It's too much to sweep alone. Thanks to Rana's information, I was able to drop the right hints, ask the right questions. Now we've got a sanctum.
Also, it's interesting that Lucican is the god of the night. That's the Tevinter god. But Lucican is also the archdemon for Elganon, who defeated the sun. That's kind of an interesting, like, weird game of telephone where things have changed throughout history. It's like, this happened, then this happened, and now all of a sudden it's God of the Night. Let's say, how are you feeling?
Are you ready?
Not much of a choice. Ducktown's on edge. People are missing. The Threads are putting up a fight against Alia's followers, but they can't last forever. Alia's a powerful blood mage now. If I let her finish the ritual, no more chances.
Huh. So what's our next move?
Meet at the Swan. Put the last pieces in place after that. We'll see.
Okay. We can do that. Head back this way. Lucanus, you're next. Wait, we've already done Lucanus's, haven't we?
I just made a fresh pot of coffee if you want any.
Thanks, Lucanus. Yeah, he already gave us his. His is main quest. Hello.
Rook, Evka and Antoine sent word. A warden's arrived at Lavendel with news. He might have a lead on Isaiah.
Then we've got to get to Lavendel.
Agreed. Thanks.
Okay. Along here. Down this way. And Harding. Right? Yep, Harding also has a quest. Oh, she just has a conversation. Sorry, not a quest. My mistake.
Hey, what's shaping?
No one says, what's shaping anymore?
I thought it was a dwarf thing.
Yeah, if you lived in Orzammar 20 years ago.
Wow, just trying to be nice, and what do I get? Sass.
Aw, well, I appreciate it. And I'm doing okay. I think I just need some time to think and sort things out.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to your friends about it. I hear that helps.
It's already helping. You checking on me, I mean. I still remember every moment of it. Suffocating under the weight of the Titan's pain. I couldn't see a way past it. And all I wanted was for the rest of the world to suffer too. And then everyone was there. And that's when I knew we'd be okay. That I'd be okay.
You did the fighting.
You needed a little push, but this battle was yours. You fought, and you won.
You showed me that my anger doesn't have to destroy me. That it could be a gift in my fight. And you believed in me. Enough to risk everything. I'll never forget that, so don't you forget it either.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, I think about Solus sometimes. He's been trapped by his mistakes for eons. When you're blinded by sorrow and pain, you need someone to help you past it. But he's too proud for that. He believes he's alone, even when he doesn't have to be.
Maybe it's up to us.
He'll never ask for help, but that doesn't mean we can't offer it anyway. But do you think he can be helped?
Varric tried to talk sense into him. And look how that ended. Even the Inquisitor thinks he's too far gone, and we're past the point of talking. But part of me doesn't want to believe it. Because it means that there's a point when you have to give up on someone. It means you could have given up on me.
But, in Solus's defense, the Inquisitor was he was a bad guy, at least in our canon. So, you know, The Inquisitor was mostly just mad at Solus for taking his arm rather than anything else. Right. Harding's thoughts scribbled on the margins of her journal. They say we return to the stone after death. In Orzammar, only those laid to rest with the proper rites get returned to the stone. The privilege of a good burial was reserved for the upper castes. No luck for the casteless or surfacers, rejected by the stone, they say. If I'm a surfacer, the stone, whatever it is, hasn't rejected me. But if we do return to the stone, every single one of us, why can't I sense the others that have passed? Okay. Down here we have some Grey Warden stuff. There's never been a lot of writing about what happens after the last archdemon's fall. It was lifetimes away for the Wardens before us, and our lives are shorter than most. I didn't think about it either. It's sad in a way. People couldn't imagine a day it would end, or that things would have a chance to get better. Not as a break between the last bad thing and the next, a chance for Thedas to recover for longer this time. Given all we've seen, maybe it needs that more than we know. The blights change, so stopping archdemons won't end our work. Maybe that should still feel sad, but it doesn't. There's a world here to fight for, and we can win. Excerpt from Evka's journal. A small blue flower is pressed alongside it. I guess the other thing is that, as we have found out in other games as well, although the Darkspawn are controlled by the Blight, the Darkspawn and the Blight are separate entities, right? So in theory, you still have to deal with the, you still have to deal with the Darkspawn. Yeah. Which would be interesting. Find the source and potentially stop them being so aggressive, I think would be the goal. Anyway, have we done all of the people in here? Yes. Okay. I'm going to go and speak to the Inquisitor, because I think that this one will fit quite nicely. Let's take Nev for Docktown, and Harding, because we never take her anymore. And we're going to see the Inquisitor. And it won't matter anyway. Also, before we do that, what was I going to do? Oh, companions. I want to see what the bond levels are like after that last conversation. So we have about a quarter of the way through 8. Just over half the way through 8. Just started 8. Almost halfway through 9. 3/4 of the way through 8. Quarter through 8. 3/4 of the way through 7. So we need Tash to get bond. Okay. That's fine. Just having a look around here. See if there's any things, which there doesn't appear to be. Okay. Map. Down here. We also know we have more quests in Necropolis to get, so we should probably go and get one of those as well. But we can do that after.
Can love conquer a curse?
Right, in here. Oh, we should also go to the crossroads to drop off stuff. For the Shadow Dragons.
Why don't you care about our city?
Because there's little I can do about any of it. Caring would be pointless and painful. You're young. You'll learn.
Oh, okay. Meet with the Inquisitor. Yes, not with Nev, with the Inquisitor. Yes.
These meetings can't be good for business. I'm here, Inquisitor.
Oh. He's just sitting and waiting.
It isn't just Inquisitor, is it? You were someone before that.
Adar was our chosen family name, long ago. Morrigan is holding a perimeter. We're alone. Tell me what Solus did at Elgernon's ritual.
Sounds like you already know.
I need to hear it from you.
Solus saved us.
Elgernon raised his archdemon. Solus got us out of there. We saved a lot of people.
You sound grateful.
Why not? He really did help.
It seems so. He's always thinking about where it ends. How many of his names do you know? God of Lies, Dreadwolf, Fen Harel. They're titles he earned from enemies, followers, and fractured history. I called him by another name for a time. Comrade, if not friend.
You went your separate ways when he turned to ending the world?
There was some unfortunate overlap. I will never excuse what he's done. He's killed people I held dear. You know this too.
But?
He became those names when he fought gods, and regret for his world turned into destroying ours. Sound familiar?
He became those names when he fought gods, regret for his world turned into destroying ours. Let's say sounds like an excuse.
Solus earned his prison, and the gods have earned what's coming to them too.
I'm just saying, focus on tomorrow. They're the ones looking backward.
Simple as one of Varric's morals. Don't become what you hate.
Or trapped by what we've lost. Also one of his. Tell me about the team you've built.
Are they a concern, or...?
You're handling things. This part, what you have now. I just miss the banter about friends.
Okay. Interesting. That's that one. Yeah, I don't know what the Inquisitor bits are weird. They don't feel great. And the reason they don't feel great is because if your Inquisitor is anything less than the perfect Inquisitor that they have envisioned it being, then all of a sudden it falls apart, right? The illusion that this is your Inquisitor falls apart immediately. It's such an odd choice. This game keeps doing it, and it's so odd that they wanted it to be a clean break from the previous canon, right? That's fine. They wanted it to be a clean break. They wanted to respect what the previous canon had brought forward, and they wanted to say, okay, we're going to say that this is our world state. Our world state is going to assume that any of the previous choices could be true. If there's a conflict, we don't mention it, right? Which is fine. But they keep going back to the well. They keep going back and saying, well, what if we bring the Inquisitor back? Okay. But now you can't use you can't really use the Inquisitor properly because the Inquisitor, as it, like, it's already, like, you can't use him. He has too many choices tied up in what he does, right? They keep going back to Dragon Age 2. You can't use Dragon Age 2. Dragon Age 2 has too many choices. You also can't go back to Origins either and use those stuff because there's too many choices tied in. It's so weird that they keep going backwards in the story when they can't use it. I don't know. It feels like they brought the Inquisitor in because people really liked their Inquisitor, which is fine, but I think people liked their Inquisitor, not just the idea of there being an Inquisitor. I don't know. It's weird. It's very weird. And they didn't do this. What was weird is they didn't do this for 2, and they didn't do this for Inquisition. Now, they did have all the choices, but they also didn't constantly refer back. They occasionally brought in a character where it made sense, and they utilized them. Like Morrigan you can have in the story, because Morrigan you can have as a character who tells you nothing. And what's weird is they brought Morrigan in, and then they kind of gave her a canon choice in the previous game, and it's just, again, it's odd. Anyway. Rook, thank you for meeting with me again. There are precious few in this world who understand the particular burdens people like us carry. While I don't imagine either of us begrudge our responsibilities, sometimes just knowing that someone else understands can lift that weight. Much as you hold your own people together through what must often seem like sheer force of will, so too must I keep the fragile alliance of the South alive. Even though I was gone for only a brief sojourn to speak to you, I returned to no small amount of chaos that I needed to spend time repairing. In my last letter, I said it felt like the calm before the storm, and it still does. The blight continues to creep forward, slowly but inexorably, and we've seen very little of the Darkspawn, even as the corruption claims more and more of our lands. We've had more success to the west, where we've won several battles against the Venatori, and to the north, little trace remains of the Antam dreadnoughts at the mouth of the Waking Sea. Still, the storm is building. We can all feel it. There's a tension in the air. Before we know it, the winds will howl and the thunder roll. Until then, we wait. We ready ourselves. And when the time comes, we will stand firm against the gathering darkness. Yours, the Inquisitor. And now we have Codex. Miscellaneous? Okay. What do we have in miscellaneous? We have this one. Notes from the Inquisition. Ah. So this is where I need to tell you that our Inquisitor, I chose the wrong romance choice for our Inquisitor. Because I was told that our romance was in fact Iron Bull, and when someone told me that, I was like, oh yeah, it was. But in my defense, Iron Bull wouldn't have got a letter to us in canon, so we're going with Cassandra instead. My love, we are no strangers to duty or the separation it demands from us. You head for Tevinter, and I thought I want to go with you, but there is work we must both do. I will not falter in the tasks that wait before me, and I pray my actions, in whatever measure they can, will keep you safe. The others see only confidence in my resolve, but you have always known more than mere appearance. I confess to you, and you alone, that I am afraid. I'm afraid of what might happen, that Thedas will face such turmoil as it did before. I know not what awaits us, yet even in the face of uncertainty, there are two things that I cannot doubt and never will. The first is that our paths are never separated long, that I will find you by my side when I need you, as you will find me at yours. I will play my part in this and follow as soon as I can. The second thing I never doubt is you. Whatever lies before you, trust yourself, trust your heart as I trust it. It will not lead you astray. Yours, Cassandra. Okay. Again, it's very weird. It is tied into the fact that this game is a sequel to Dragon Age Inquisition in a way that the other games were not, right? 2 was not a sequel to Dragon Age Origins. And although Dragon Age Inquisition's main bad guy was from a DLC of 2, it was not a sequel in any way. This game is like a straight story sequel, beat for beat, from Inquisition, which is why I think it feels weird that this is where where they put the line around it and went, okay, the story will be ending here, but there will be more. It's like, this is where we end carrying forward choices, but at the same time we want to bring back all the stuff from Inquisition. It's like, yeah, it feels odd. You two talk.
Hey, Emmerich. This place go on forever?
The Fade possesses no boundaries known to mortal kind.
Huh. Nice.
Okay. Nev, you want to have a conversation? Oh, with Emmerich? Not Emmerich, with Lucanus? Oh, I see where this one's going.
I made a fresh pot and... that's Rook's walk.
Yep, just me. You brought Nev coffee?
I brought an excuse. Spite thought I should talk to her. Well, not just Spite, but I'm only good with knives.
You made pie.
Gooseberry. You made it twice.
It was nothing.
Don't say anything.
You're not chiming in?
Nope.
Well, you have the coffee, and you probably have a case or something, so...
I don't need pie, but you remembered my favorite. You find me at midnight just to talk. Maybe I like that. Maybe I like...
Really?
Right. I think you've got this.
You know I won't make your life easy. I don't make anything easy.
But you do make it better.
Well, don't use your charm all at once.
I have more than that. I hope.
After addressing their personal issues, Nev and Lucanus, I think it said something like have embraced their romance, or have Yeah, basically they're on a romance path. I can't remember what the exact phrasing was from 2 seconds ago. Oh, a quest, Harding. Oh, really? You decided that you would have a quest like everyone else. I see. I see. Well, let's head in here.
So, compared to what wardens usually eat, how's the food here?
It's warm. That's a start. Wardens usually eat cold gruel.
Yuck. What is gruel, anyway?
There's the eternal question. We never did get an answer.
Probably for the best.
Okay. And over here we have... Over here we have Harding in her increasingly vegetative... In her increasingly flowery state. That's a better word for what I was going for.
I'd like to return to Asana Nagat, the mountain where we found the Titan. Will you come?
Is there unfinished business?
No. I would just like to say goodbye.
Okay, we can do that. Right. And with that, I think we now have all of the quests. So, we can also have a look through the quests for a second here and just check that we got them all. So we have Balara, Davrin, Emmerich, Harding, Nev, and Tash. That's 6 quests. We already done one? We haven't done Lucanus's already out of these ones, have we? No, I don't think so. But Lucanus's quest is at an end, so... Oh no, Lucanus's is main. Lucanus's is main quest. Well, there you go. We have our quests, plus Anton and Evka, who are almost companions, I guess. That's where we'll put them. So Lucanus and Nev. Lucanus is... It said bond up with Lucanus and Nev, but they're pretty much where they were before. Huh. Not a lot bond up then. Okay. Well, there you go. So I guess we're going to take Tash to a lot of quests. Okay. Oh, wait a second. There's one more quest to get. Right, map. World. We just... Oh, and I need to go to the crossroads. Go to the crossroads on the way back here. Okay. I'm assuming that this is going to take us to Warden Grey's final repose, but I might be wrong. May have to look that one up at some point. But anyway. We're going to take Tash, and who's second lowest? Actually, no, we take Emmerich, because it's, yeah, it's the Necropolis. Although there might be dialogue between the others in their other areas, but let's do this anyway. Where is the, oh, it's just in the center. Perfect. Okay, down here. No banter? No banter. Okay. Right, banter.
We have discovered more spirits causing ruin. Kindly correct them.
Okay, where?
We've traced several disappearances to an unusual possession.
It seeks fear. Cut it down.
Okay, where is it?
I must visit the memorial gardens later. Would you care to come with me?
Yes, there are respects past due.
Okay. Yeah, where is this quest that you've given me? Feeling scared is recommended level 35. You ever feel like we over-leveled at some point? Given that we're now level 46 and we just got a level 35 quest? Some part of me feels that at some point we became over-leveled. I couldn't really pinpoint when that was, but I'm fairly certain we are. Right, back to the lighthouse. I know we're going to the crossroads, but there's no reason not to go back to the lighthouse in between, so we'll go back to the lighthouse in between. Tash, Lucanus, Emmerich, Harding, Davrin, and Balara. Okay. We have a lot of storylines to push forward, so we might as well push them forward now. Right, go.
Hey, Lucanus.
Yes?
You and Nev?
Yes.
Nice catch.
Thanks.
And Spite's good with her?
No talking. When her hat comes off, go play with wisps.
Okay.
Alright. Fair enough, fair enough. Right, up here we have these two.
So, young Lord Parvis joined the Shadow Dragons. What a small world we live in.
You know Dorian?
To Winter Mage's visit, young Parvis was sent over for a term by his father. Tremendous potential, but appallingly flippant towards the dead. And most other things.
Okay. Yeah, we haven't seen Dorian in a while. He was just there for a cameo. Again, can't let go of the past. Next.
I don't like the look of this.
The look of what?
All of it. There's no there.
What were you expecting?
I don't know. Mountains or something.
Okay. And now, it's time to go back to the crossroads. We're gonna take, it doesn't matter, but I guess we will take Balara and someone so we can advance storylines. How about Balara and Tash again? Right. Oh, and then we can see if there's any more whispering at the tree. Cool. See if there's whispering at this tree here.
The voices again.
What of your dreams?
A discordant refrain and shadows, nothing more.
In our prison, there was more. I dreamed the songs of the living abyss. And now, masked eyes across the sea. A storm that drinks the sky.
The future is intangible. Only the past and the present matter.
Masks across the sea. A storm that drinks the sky. And that's a future? Something across the sea is causing something to happen. Something with the Kunari, we'd assume. Intriguing. Okay. So there's some secret across the sea with the Kunari.
I thought you'd be happy your brother was being controlled by the Elven God.
He's not. Well, sort of. Inaris is a forgotten one. They're bad. Why would I be happy?
Because it's not his fault. He's not evil. Inaris is evil. Inaris is the one to blame.
I mean, he still made those choices, still allied with Inaris, put that mask on willingly. So, it's not all his fault, but some of it is. He's responsible for what he does.
Okay. But now you know who to punch.
Right. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you, Balara, for being a sensible character. Here, some characters are responsible for what they do. There has been a little bit of that going on in this game and in other games I've played where it's like, because the character had a redeeming quality, suddenly what they did, they could be waved away, and it's like, no, wait a second here, they did do that stuff though. They did actually do that. There were bad things that happened. It's like, we can say that there was a reason for it, but at the same time, they did do that. Nobody stopped them from doing that. Or like there was nobody was forcing him to join with Inaris. He did that of his own free will. Now the fact that it backfired and now more bad stuff has happened, yes, there is some amount of sympathy we can have for it, but at the same time, he did do that. Right? He put himself on the path that led to it. Anyway. Let's go this way. Hello, Davrin and Harding.
Have you seen Hassan?
Wasn't he in your room?
I'll go check. Just watch and make sure he doesn't get in here. Promised Emmerich I wouldn't let him make another nest of books. Did you hear that? Was that the sound of a griffin vomiting?
Ugh. I don't hear anything.
Right. Good. Because I don't want to have to fish damp pages out of Hassan's mouth again.
That's horrifying. Anyway, moving on. Who do we have over here? We should have Hassan outside, right? Yeah. You wouldn't go eating any books, would you? You wouldn't eat any books. Right. And then was it in here? I'm starting to question whether it was in here or not. It was. It's just right in the back. Okay. And hello.
You and Spite have reached a new equilibrium, Lucanus.
He's less noisy. We have an agreement and coffee.
And the magic around you has much finer etheric transfusion.
Thank you.
It's so good to see you smooth over these little entanglements.
Hey, that's good. Okay. Well, I just hope that life ends up better for you, Lucanus, than the last possessed companion in these games. I think that was the last possessed. Now I'm questioning how many companions were possessed. I think it's just 2. I think it's you and the other guy. Yeah, I hope what happened to him doesn't happen to you. That's all I'm gonna say. Anyway, I think that now we just have a bunch of quests to do. Fantastic. So, and this one, and these two are both Hossberg Wetlands. So I think when we do Hossberg Wetlands, we'll do like all of those. Yeah. In fact, we actually have 4 in the Hossberg Wetlands, because I believe that Emmerich's is also in the Hossberg one, sort of, but not completely. Okay. So yeah, there's a lot to do. I don't even know which one. I guess I kind of want to do Tasha's first, because 1, she's the furthest behind in Bond, and 2, they completely faked us out with the previous quest, and maybe this one isn't just go kill a dragon. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.